Hello, everybody, and welcome to another IC Real-Time Product Overview. My name is Hattie, and I'll be your host today. We'll be covering active deterrence cameras that have been added to our 24/7 full color series. In the first segment, I'll be going over the 24/7 full color series in general, just to give you a brief background on it, and for those that are not familiar with the series. And then after that, we'll go more in depth on the actual active deterrence and kind of the use case scenarios and where it can really be used and why we're bringing the series in. After that, in the next segment, we will go ahead and do a little more in depth, show you like the web interface, kind of how to set a couple of the features up and how to trigger it and kind of what it looks like. With all that being said, let me just go ahead and share my screen. We can begin. So the 24/7 full color series, now with active deterrence. Now, the 24/7 full color series, basically what it is our cameras that are able to record in color, whether day or night, low light situations, dark areas, etc. This really helps with situations where you're trying to identify maybe like the color of the clothes the person has on, or the color of the vehicle. So it helps with identifying people or objects, and for forensic purposes, or trying to track down whoever did cause an incident to happen. You can really get in more details from color versus just a black and white image, which is on typical CCTV equipment since the beginning of time at this point. That being said, our current cameras that are released, they come in a mix of bullets, domes, and turrets, also known as eyeballs, the turrets here in the middle. The cameras themselves are currently fixed lens, the ones that have been released. They all come in 4 megapixels, and they all come with a full suite of features. IVS, IMD, our tripwires and intrusion box, and our human vehicle filtering, which I'll go more in depth with as well. Now, by the time they release this video as well, we also have had our varifocal lenses come out, and these are power zoom lenses, meaning that they can be zoomed in and adjusted at a different angle. They have a 2.7 to 12 millimeter power zoom cameras. They do come in both a bullet and a dome for the varifocal models. They both have built-in microphone and speaker options as well, so you can go ahead and use that for like two-way audio. So if you wanted to talk through the camera or vice versa. It also has a full set of suites of features such as the IVS IMD as previously mentioned, and it has some extra things such as alarm contact, in case if you wanted to wire it up to either a door striker or an access alarm system or any other peripheral objects that you might have in your facility or you might want to set up. Now that we've kind of gone over a little bit about what it's involved in the series and kind of the purpose behind it, why the 24/7 full color series is kind of there, let's go ahead and actually talk about the actual active deterrence part, which is what we're really here for in this segment. So cameras have always been basically the silent observer, the one that's always been watching when an event happens, but it doesn't really help always deter away criminals. Yes, seeing a camera up on the wall might make people think about, is it really worth stealing this or breaking into this facility? And it does help lower the crime rate, but I mean, on the silent side, it's not as effective as maybe like a full alarm system, and that typical house alarm system or business alarm system would just start blaring sirens, etc. So that kind of same concept. So we're just basically going from just being a silent observer to being a full on, now, hey, we're here, you're being watched, you're being notified. So the cameras are going to basically be equipped with red and blue flashing lights. They are also equipped with a built-in mic and speaker. So the speaker can be set to like the siren mode, or there are some other custom pre-saved audio, such as private properties. The other one would be, hey, you're watched under surveillance, etc. So there's a couple different ones. We'll show it to you guys once we get to the setup phase, and we'll go over the actual different options that are in there. You can also tie this into our IVS rules. That way it only triggers within a certain area. And then there's ways to control it so it only triggers outside. Now, the cameras that will have the active deterrence features themselves are come in two set housings, the bullet and the turret, also known as eyeball, as previously mentioned. They come with a set of warm LEDs to provide color at night in situations where you have no lighting. If you have landscape lighting already, sufficient landscape lighting to be able to see at night, then you don't need the LEDs on. You can always turn those off. And the same thing applies to the rest of the series as well. Most of those cameras come equipped with the warm LEDs, but it can be turned off if you do have sufficient lighting as it is around your area. They still need lighting to be able to see at night. The cameras are in this series are all 4-megapixel cameras. At this point, all of them will support IVS or IMD and some sort of alerts. Now, the active deterrent specifically, though, also has, like I said, you can trigger the flashing lights and you can trigger the speaker, or you can just trigger just the flashing lights. You can trigger just the speaker. We'll go through that setup when we do it. And this also comes equipped with alarm in and out. Since it's built in with the mic and speaker as well, it does support two-way talk as well on these sets of cameras, just like the varifocal model does. For any other particulars, you might want to consult the actual data sheet of the product, which can be found on the product's webpage. So kind of where active deterrence fits, like where is really the need for the active deterrence, or the purpose. I mean, it can kind of be used realistically anywhere. It can be used to protect businesses. It can be used to protect homes, personal property, cars, parking lots. I mean, there's virtually really anywhere that you might want to protect somebody and prevent something from happening, where you want to deter a criminal away from doing something. An example of that would basically be like, if you consider your car door, like a lot of people don't realize that 80 to 90% of car burglaries happen because the car doors are unlocked. Well, now imagine if you have one of these cameras, you put it above your driveway, you put it in front of your house on above the garage door, looking down at your driveway over your cars, and draw the box around your car parking lot. And as soon as somebody walks into that zone, the lights start flashing and the speaker's just going off. Well, those criminals that are kind of going around checking people's car door handles at night, and this happens in almost any community at this point, to see if the car door is unlocked so they can take whatever valuables are inside the car, they're going to bolt out of there way more often than they're going to just actually still check your door. So even if you did forget to lock your door, you have a higher chance of them not getting your valuables because they never even made it to your car door. They're now trying to get out of there before cops show up or getting reported on. And that's kind of the purpose behind it. So basically, anybody with a car at that stage would want to be able to protect their cars. This will work in like car lots where maybe like a used car lot. And they got usually not the best security. They don't have usually a security guard walk around the used car parking lot. They're going to want something there to kind of deter people away from stealing their cars. And so those are different like scenarios. So realistically, it can be used really anywhere. It can be used in front of a store entrance. It can be used in front of. It can be used on private properties. Let's say people have a vacation home and they're not always at that house. Well, now they got a camera that will be flashing and saying, "Hey, it's private property. Stay off." It's going to higher chance of deterring people away because it's like, "Hey, look, oh, they're reporting me. Hey, the camera is triggering. Oh, there must be somebody watching the camera. They must know that I'm here already. That's why it's triggering. Let me get out of here before the cops show up." So how do you accomplish all this and trigger all that and get it to where it only triggers at certain areas? Well, the cameras are equipped with our intelligent motion detection, also known as IMD, or our perimeter protection. And then that's basically our AI chips enhanced cameras, where the cameras are now equipped to filter out things like trees and shadows and stuff like that. And it only triggers an event based off of human and vehicle triggers. Now, these are eliminating up to 90% of false positives. That being said, there's obviously going to be a couple of false positives. With the nature of cameras, there's always going to be some sort of limitation to technology. So you are still going to need some sort of human intervention to kind of review it and make sure that it was an actual event. But 9 out of 10 times, the events that trigger are only going to be because a person or a vehicle kind of went through there or a person walked up into that zone. And that is kind of what the IMD aspect is. So now that we kind of covered what the series is, what the purpose of the camera is, and we know that now, all right, the cameras are equipped with sirens, they're equipped with flashing lights, and it's meant to try to scare people away from breaking into your facility or robbing your car for your valuables. Let's get to actually the next part where we're going to actually cover how to actually do that. Thank you for sitting through this. I'll see you in the next section.